Live. Is my mic all good? Damn, this mic can really pick up everything, can it? I can edit? Oh. Oh, I just have to edit the description. Entertainment. The stream contains paid promotions. No. I know the one person who's in here right now. I already know who you are. I already know. I already know who you are, boy. Or girl. I definitely know it's a girl, though. Oh, wasn't that just wonderful? Oh dear. This is fantastic. We're not going to go here. We're going to go over here. I can see the lag. The lag is nuts. Alrighty. This is Roblox. Oh, nice. That's nice. Here, stop sharing that. Laggy as heck. I hate that. I wonder if there's like a way I can reduce lag or something. Maybe a way. Maybe not this way. God almighty. You got your notifications. Oh, what a load of rubbish. What are we thinking? I'm thinking honestly, this. I have no idea how laggy this is for. Yeah, who knows how laggy this is going to be for most of you. To be fair. Mm, doing good. Lag. Yes, we're getting bits of lag, I would say. That's alright. We don't. Oh, and we. Okay. Mm. Oh, fantastic. We're doing one of my least favorite songs. I'm going to try to sneak out of this. It's hard. We do default. Yeah. Yes, we're doing family counter. Heck yeah. Alright. Okay, where's the music not here? That's did something wrong. Yeah, this is not built for me when I'm on the computer. And more importantly, you can't hear anything. So yeah, I don't think any of you can hear me. I was doing. I already got two people. Fantastic. Stop this sharing stuff. Welcome to second person. Welcome. Where's my? I put my bloody headphones because I think that's why you couldn't hear anything. So give me a moment while I letty put my headphones on. Because even then, it's a bad idea. I knew this was a bad idea as soon as I did it. Tangled up headphones. Shocker. Oh, oh, jeez. Let's go and unplug the mic. I think. Oh man, I'm all alone again. That's pleasing, I guess. I suppose. Could be worse, though. Could be worse. Oh, and we got someone back. A new person? God knows. I have no idea if it's a new person or not. Or it could be an old one who was already on this live stream before. It might be just that, though. Just gonna put something in chat. Right. Shouldn't do that, actually. Okay, time starts. Participants. Participants, okay. Homestands, pop-out chats. Yeah, we popped out. It's funny. Oh, I can like. Oh, what the heck? Whoa! Oh, I can just like see chat a lot clearly now. Well, that's pleasing. Oh, yeah, here. Whoa, why did it just go straight dark there? Whoa, man, we're back. Woo! Can mute myself. And now I'm back. Voice is back. Everything's fantastic. Good. Trying to figure out the sound. Being able to see the. And then it's just well, it's kind of laggy. It's debatable. It's like an endless cycle of live streams. Gosh dang, God. Yeah, the mic's it's a little laggy. Yeah, it's a shame that's a little laggy. Oh, we got two people in here again. Fantastic. Welcome. Oh, dear me. All right. It's been a long, long day. Four people. God, where's my? Oh, my dog's gone. My dog was sitting right there. Now she's gone. That's dang it. Just like a battle a little bit. That's fine. Well, fine. Fun games. Yo, congrats. Thank you. Thank you, Canopy Elders, for saying that in chat. Thank you. I appreciate it. Very nice of you. Very nice of you. I have a soundboard. I can't play certain sounds on here, but that's fine. I don't need a soundboard. Yeah, and then two people leave. God, it always happens. It always happens. Someone leaves me. Yeah, there's only two people now. That's all right. That's all right. It doesn't have to be a freaking stream with thousands and thousands of people. It doesn't have to be that kind of live stream. It would be nice though. It would be a nice change of pace, but what can I say? It's not that big of a deal. I mean, 200 subscribers is a big deal, especially how long it took me to get 200 subscribers. It's just, I suppose I was just gonna sit here and talk about, you know, thanking people for the 200 subscribers that I got in the 2 months that I've been on YouTube and stuff. But I suppose, because not a lot of you are on here, I suppose I can give you a kind of, what's the right word? Um, I have some Godzilla figures on the floor because I still have to put them on my shelf. Uh, but yeah, I'm basically a collector, and I just kind of over the years I kind of just put things on shelves. So that's fun. Sometimes it's really annoying when the figures don't stay on your shelf and they kind of just fall, and then they bring everything else on your shelf just down with it. It's annoying. I have to put everything back on the shelf. Where do I begin? I suppose I can show off some Godzilla figures, so that shouldn't hurt, I suppose. Uh, this is the NECA Godzilla 2014 figure. You can't see it, but well, there you go. Now you can see it. It's here. It's good range of articulation and everything, and yeah, pretty good. Um, it has head rotation, sort of. It can look left, It can look right. It can look kind of up, not really, but it can also look down, and that's where it gets help with the waist articulation. The waist helps it look down. As for the neck, you have left and right motions, not that much. It's, yeah, it's not that big of articulation in the neck. It's still there though. All right, so next you got some arm rotation. You got a, I'm gonna say this is like the other part of your arm, which it can go side to side, and then the hands can rotate, and then they kind of can go up or down. It depends. So they can go up or down. So yeah. Uh, that's it for the arms, the neck, and the head. The waist can move back, but as well as forward. So that's where it gets the help for the head, which can look down. The legs, similar thing from the legs. They can rotate, and actually, I don't want to rotate the legs all the way because if I do that, the leg's just gonna pop off. So I'm not gonna do that. But they can move forward and backward. The calves they can move. They kind of have a little swivel, I suppose, and then the feet have left and right motions, so you can make the feet turn like pivot that way, like left or right, or if you just want to be fancy, you can like make the leg kind of spread apart. Oh yeah, they can also the legs can spread apart and back again, so you can get this kind of if you're like bouncing it on an uneven surface, that's where you can do that. And um, this is, I think, you can find this figure online. It's originally it was like for $30 back in 2014 when the 2014 Godzilla movie came out. Now these little guys go for around $100 online, and oh dear, this is expensive. All right, the tail. It can go left and right, but that's about pretty much it. Now the end of the tail here is a solid, basically a solid piece, and it connects right around. I'm not sure if the camera's gonna pick it up, but there's like a line. This figure's so dark, it's like incredibly hard to see lines on camera. But there's like a line right around here, like right here. And this is where you plug this part of the tail in. And instead of this tail being articulated, this tail is bendy wire. So you can tilt it up, you can tilt it down if you want. You can tilt it. You can basically just um, make it go left or right. It's not a very big motion, but it's still there. For some reason, my 2014 when I got it, the tail was kind of like posed like in a curved position, and I kind of like went like that. Now I fixed it because I figured out that the tail was actually on a bendy wire, meaning I can basically articulate it without having any like saw parts on it. So I can like basically it was just like tilted in the curve, now straight, so it can lay on the floor or sit on the floor, I should say. So yeah, that's Godzilla 2014. Got this back and well when the movie came out, I was like 8 years old. That was a long time ago. Ugh. And this was the last thing I think my parents bought from a Toys R Us before the Toys R Us community closed down. So very, very old. A very good figure. It's obviously not on par with another figure creator company like SH Monster Arts, but NECA is not a bad company. In fact, I think this is probably their most detailed NECA figure, the 2014. They just put a lot of detail and love into this thing. Around the same time when this figure was made, there was also another one, the 90s Godzilla, or the Heisei Godzilla, I should say, or if you just want to be fancy, 80s Godzilla, and it was probably the very first ever figure ever made. And then after that, they made this one. So very, very cool. Um, I have two other NECA. Well, we're calling that three NECA figures, but two of them are the same thing. It's just they're different repaints. I'm actually just gonna grab the repainted one. But this is what is this called again? GMK Godzilla, or Giant Monsters. Basically, Godzilla, Mothra, and King Ghidorah giant monsters all attack Godzilla. So this guy, this is what I consider to be their downgrade of Godzilla figures, because they kind of gave up on the articulation. Unlike the one with the bendy tail, they actually made it have segmented parts of tail. So basically, it just has a rotation, basically a left and right at the head. Um, the head can also look down, but not much up. So that's a little downgrade, I think. But yes, it can definitely look down. The neck barely moves at all, actually, and it only has a left and right. So there you go. What I think NECA does is that they don't make Godzilla figures anymore because they lost the license. Um, but yeah, left and right. They like to add waist articulation to their figures, which is something that a lot of other companies don't do. However, their waist articulation is not very good. Like they can barely move like front or back, or you could just straight up, I don't know, break their backs. Something I like to do. Like that. It's kind of stupid. I can also break the neck if I really wanted to, but there you go. I mean, what else can you do with waist articulation? Not much. The arms can rotate. Um, I believe these are like the inner arms. I don't know. They don't move very much. As for the wrist, or yeah, this is the wrist. It can rotate, and then on the hands there's a knuckle bend, which is something I'm not very a big fan of. But it would have been cool if they added it to the 2014 Godzilla, because at this point they were like, "Oh, let's give them knuckle articulation or none at all." All right, legs, same thing as the 2014 Godzilla, except very, very stiff. Um, yeah, very. And then as for the feet, they can swivel. Basically, they can just fully on just rotate all the way. And that's pretty much it for the legs. The tail. This is probably my most favorite tail of this thing, but that doesn't mean it's still a good tail. I'll get the other one. The other one, I lost both of the hands. Well, not entirely the hands, but I think, yeah, the one of the hands are entirely missing, and then the other one is missing its knuckle. So, yeah, I'll just put that right there. Here is the OG. This is the one without before the repaint. In fact, I'll actually um move the camera just slightly down so you can kind of see it here. But this is it. So this is the original GMK Godzilla. Same articulation, except it's not blue. But I think you're already noticing something that I did. This guy's knuckle is entirely gone, and then this guy's hand is just gone. It's missing. I think I found the hand at one point, but then it went missing again. Now, what I like about this guy is the fact that he actually has painted toenails, except they didn't really paint the bottom of the toenails. So that's kind of bad. And there goes the repainted. You know, we're just gonna put the repainted over there. Not touching him anymore. What I hate about the original's tail, is the fact that the way it's posed, you have to pose it up, which it just doesn't look good. And even if you try to pose it down, the um, the parts that don't really have any detail are exposed. So you literally just have to just put the tail like that. So basically, the bottom of the tail drags on the ground, basically. Which honestly, I hate. This guy's tail, his tail is not posed like that. His tail is posed at a certain angle, and it's, it's not bad. I will admit it's not terrible. So same with the other one. The tail is all the same, except this time it's three joints. So these two are perfectly normal. This tail, though, at the end is where bendy wire is accompanied. So you can just like pose the tail like the original one, like up, but you can also pose it um with its tail. Hold on. Uh Posing slightly left. So even if it's like up on the ground, you can like pose it slightly left. So that's what I like about this guy. But his joints are really stiff too. Also, another thing is that this guy came with an atomic breath piece, but I lost that because of how skinny it was. And in fact, if you did buy this guy, but you lost it, but you didn't lose the atomic breath, and you have the original one, you can use the atomic breath for both of these guys because they're the same sculpt, just different repaints. All right, so that is that done. Now, on Christmas, my brother got Titanus Rodan, aka King of the Monsters Rodan, and then I got can reach it. There you go. King Ghidorah. And both of these guys came with destroyable buildings that you would probably lose pieces of, but luckily I didn't. So this is Monster Zero, King Ghidorah from King of the Monsters. Really, really big. Um the articulation for these guys, there's swivel at the head, and you can also take off each of the heads. So if you really wanted to recreate King of the Monsters with Thermo Godzilla, you could do that. There's a rotation at the leg, but these legs I hate moving because of how flimsy they are and they can just pop off really easy. There is a swivel at the tail, both swivels at the tail, hinge at the wings so they can flap, I guess. And that's actually pretty much it. There's no other articulation actually in this thing. And there is a smaller version, which is a 6-inch, but this is the 12-inch. And same with Rodan. So the next figure I got over Christmas. I don't think it was around Christmas, but it was somewhere around that. And that is I got these two. So I'll get to this guy in a second because he's basically Godzilla, and I think everyone knows who Godzilla is. But this is Gamera, and he's another one of the Toho monsters that is not really well known. But he was supposed to be in older Godzilla movies, but he never got into like older Godzilla movies. For the articulation of this guy, pretty much nothing. His arms can rotate just slightly. However, what I like about this guy is the fact that his shell is not hard, like as a rock. It's actually like soft, so you can squish it. It's basically like a yeah, it's basically like a bathtub kind of toy. But I just don't like putting it in a bathtub because I'm not risking any paint being chipped. Um, the legs can just do left and right, and that's pretty much it. And then the tail can just do a full 360. So articulation for the Gamera is not too great. Then we move on to Shin Godzilla 2016. The legs can bend. In fact, this is probably the best molded Shin Godzilla besides the SH Monster. It's Shin Godzilla that you can find online. That is way too expensive. So if you're looking for a toy to collect, this is probably their best option. The head doesn't even move, but the arms do. They can move up and down. The legs can move left and right. As for the tail is basically just a massive ball joint, and it can move left and right. And then as for the end of the tail, which is also on the ball joint, so you can basically just do anything you want with the tail. So those guys I got from helping my mom do stuff. I think she got them for the because I helped her. Next, some mini Shin Godzilla. So I can get him really up close to the camera. He's just basically a bigger version or smaller version of the big one I just showed you, except that in this case here, only his legs move. So, bye. All right, what else? I suppose I can show you. Yeah, there's another one down there. Okay, so these guys, these old guys, I got from my aunt and uncle. They found a little bag of these Godzilla figures, but here's Anguirus. Not really good paint job, but for these things being tiny, I don't really mind it. Makes sense. Godzilla has the best paint job at all because it's just pale gray, but then his body, like on his chest area, is all white. So that's also really good. And then Gigan, I don't think you know about Gigan. Kind of basic paint job, blue and orange and yellow, red for the eye. So these little guys were just found in a little baggie, and I think I have one more. I think it's King Ghidorah, except it's not even any other King Ghidorah. It's actually Mecha King Ghidorah. It's from like a '90s film. But he has like you can pop in his wings. I'm not gonna do that because the wings and the tail are so annoying to mess with. They just don't stand. Oh god, they don't stay in place. That's what I'm trying to get at. What else? Oh yeah, this got somewhere. It's Kiryu Mechagodzilla 3. I got him from somewhere. I think it might have been in the same bag or something. But the end of his tail is really sharp. I mean, I don't think it should be that sharp. Mother, I got on Christmas in my stocking. Pretty cool. I think I'm actually gonna hang her in my room up here above everything else that's Godzilla related up there. What else do we got here? Okay, so I also got these during the Christmas time when I got Mothra. And I think there's a lot more, or maybe it was just these, like these many or something. I suppose I can just show you most of them. So first we got Mechagodzilla. Oh god, he fell. All right, first we got Mechagodzilla 2. It's like a little chibi design, Japanese. I don't know. Then we got Godzilla, kind of cute in his own quirky way. Gigan being the most fattest of the lot. Like Jesus, they increased his fatness a lot. Destroyer, pretty fat too. And finally, Mothra. Yeah, probably the prettiest of all these guys. 'Cause they spent the most time painting them. Alright, so that was all of that. Now, I do have a few other Godzilla stuff and that is on other shelves, but I'm not going to get that down because I'm not risking anything breaking. I'm so tired. Anyway, um, these are little Funko Pop Godzilla versus Kong figures. So here's a little Kong and here's a little Godzilla. Pretty cute. They were on keychains, but the keychains broke. So now I just keep them separately, which is actually probably better. What else do we got here? Okay, so this is probably the last NECA figure that I have of Godzilla related stuff, which is Kong 1933. And Kong 33 came with not only himself, but a a whacking stick, which is always fun. So yeah, Kong basically came with a big old whacking stick that I think lots of people just put a bit of clay in the or like Play-Doh or something on the end for the dorsal plate to make Kong 2021. But honestly, I think this is probably the best articulated Kong I've seen, besides SH Monster Arts and stuff. So he's got a swivel at the head, um, a movable jaw that can open, and this guy has a lot of accessories. I think he came with an extra head and two extra hands, which are fists, and I think an open hand too, like a full and open hand that I can grab stuff with, and not a stick. Next, he has back and forward motions with his waist, as well as a little bit of a swivel so he can turn left and right. Next, arms, full rotation. I think that's his muscle there, but his hands and his arm can move. His arm has a little bit of swivel. I think you can just do this like uppercut punch if you're like an stop motionist or a stop motionist. You can just do that. The same thing with the stick. You just like smack things with it. The legs they move forward and back, as well as having a bend. I think I have to loosen up some of the joints, but it's there. And the stuff that came with this little Kong here, this little thing, it's a little creature. It's like a little dinosaur thing. I guess it's like the equivalent of a skull crawler. Its mouth can open, and that's pretty much it, actually. I don't think there's any rotation left. So only his jaw can open. And finally, so I won't show you the heads, but the Trinodon is up there being eaten by a mosasaur from Jurassic World. Where do I begin? Where do I begin with the rest of the Godzilla figures? All right, next, you got this big boy. He's massive. Um, my mom found him at Willow Tree, and as you can see, he probably, most likely, got bitten by a dog. Hand gone. Surprisingly not the other hand. However, he has a massive hole in his head, so that's pleasing. He has no articulation. He's basically just like a stuffed plastic like Godzilla, basically. Next, this is what I got from Christmas last year, actually, and this is it's a 1954 Godzilla, pretty big. He has a swivel at the head, just by a little bit, a rotation at the arm, a full rotation at the arm. You can move his arm back, forward, and back. His legs can go backwards and forwards, and his feet can swivel. Yeah, they can do like a full rotation. So that's pretty nice. His tail also does a little swivel as well. Honestly, this guy's pretty big. I don't think as big. I'm not sure if he's big enough to compare to, Godzilla in 2004. What do I got here? Size. Yes, Godzilla 2004 is bigger. A lot bigger, in fact. And finally, the last Godzilla thing. Actually, it's not really my last Godzilla thing, but this is the original Godzilla 1998. So what I like about this is, oh, I just realized how many bullet holes it has. I think this is the creator of bullet holes in Hasbro. Oh, Oh, it's all over. Okay, well, the head, not much rotation there, and neck. Its arms can, I think rotate if I don't move the yeah. So the arms move. The waist moves as well, and that's actually the mechanism for the actual motion, and probably the most articulated feet and legs I've ever seen. So yeah, you can hear the click there. The legs can move forward and back. The calves can move forward and back as well. I'm not sure. I don't think they have rotation. And as for the feet, they can move forward and back as well. So you can get some really good motion with that. And the tail is on the ball joint again, so it can move left and right. Honestly, very interesting figure, and probably one of the actual better ones and older ones of my collection. I can feel how much freaking dust is on the thing, and let me tell you, it's not pleasing. Also, it's pretty pretty tall too. Yeah, you can see it on camera, and that's just when it's up close. And then there's this little button right here for a sound effect. Yeah, you can hear the clicking and the motion there. Pretty, pretty cool. Toy. And that's what kids in the late 90s played with. Wondering why I'm not doing anything. It's because at this moment there's no one in this live stream. Like there's 0 people. Like zero. There's nada. Um hmm. 34. No, I'll be right back actually. Yeah, this is intermission right now. If anyone joins, A little delayed. Daisy, come on. Hi Daisy, I see you on the camera. Oh my goodness, baby. Oh Daisy, Daisy. Oh my freaking goodness. Oh my goodness. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Do, 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 do. Kennedy Elders.